ALS patients like me and other locked-in people cannot move and cannot speak. We may all have perfect minds, but we are locked in our bodies. There are moments in my day when communication is impossible, like any time I'm away from my computer or wake up in the middle of the night. EyeControl is here to change this reality. EyeControl is a wearable, screenless, and easy-to-use communication device, which enables communication by intuitive eye gestures and audio feedback. The user's eye gestures are tracked by a head-mounted infrared camera, allowing them to navigate through a personalized audio menu. Their selection is then sent to the output speaker or a connected Bluetooth device.
We developed EyeControl with strong involvement of the extended ALS and MND community in concept, design, and even testing. Our screenless device utilizes a unique eye tracking technology that offers immediate, around-the-clock communication, especially in situations where other options are not available.
Hi, my name is Shoni and I am disabled. Now is the first time in the world the locked-in patient independently communicating without a screen.
This project will change the lives of millions. Together, we will change this reality. We will give locked-in patients their voice back.
EyeControl gives locked-in patients the power of expression. EyeControl, inspiring communication.
Incredibly fascinating technology. I have a bunch of questions for you. But my first question really is, how does EyeControl empower people with disabilities, and how does the technology work specifically for you?
So the main goal when we founded EyeControl, we also have a personal story behind it, but just about the technology before. Shoni, our founder that was in the video that you saw, had a basic vision of enabling communication to be 24/7. Instead of using computers like Stephen Hawking used to use, he decided that he was saying that communication is a very basic need that we must enable locked-in patients because they are very dependent in their caregivers or their family. So this is why we decided to make out of those computers a wearable device that without calibration will recognize the pupil and will enable communication to be 24/7 like it should be.
For you, what is your personal story behind the genesis of this company?
So we didn't intend to create a company. It happened, we volunteered in the NGO. We are 3 founders. In my personal story, my grandmother passed away 14 years ago exactly from ALS. So I was volunteering in the NGO together with the CTO today, Itai, that his friend passed away from Duchenne. And Shai, he was like the CEO of the ALS NGO, and he was an ALS patient himself. Unfortunately, 2 years ago, Shai passed away. So when we established the company, we already knew that Shai will not live forever. So we allocated, it's a very unique scenario. In the cap table of the company, we allocated part of it around 10% to the NGO. One of the agenda of the company is at the end of the day, money will go back to research in ALS as this company is going. So,
how has EyeControl integrated with different software and hardware devices, and have you established different partnerships with outside corporations for this form of integration, using EyeControl for other companies as they use technology to move forward?
The main idea behind EyeControl by technology is that the device is standalone. So we don't need other devices. The device can either create communication. So there is a small camera underneath one pupil that tracks the movements of the pupil. And basically the user is navigating through audio menus that is hearing from a bone conduction. So in the basic option of EyeControl, you don't see anything. The user is hearing it through the bone conduction. And the device is either speaking to the environment or controlling other devices through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Of course, the device can also speak to Alexa, Google Home, and so on. So from a scenario that the patient is fully locked in by only eye gestures, the device can turn on the lights or do whatever you want to do through all those functionalities. Today we have a few different partnerships with the product. And we started from the home care activity, and that it also go to the facilities, and I can elaborate on that also. But so we have today a partnership with the Israeli government, the Health Basket, what's called. The device has reimbursement in Israel, NHS. We have CMS codes in the United States. So those one parts of partnership of reimbursement. We are more and more developing partnerships in the facilities area for using the product in the ICU for ventilated patients that are temporarily locked in, so they cannot communicate with the medical staff for a few days, but it's a similar need for not a common situation for the patient. In this environment, the partnerships are different with medical device companies. But basically, those are the main part. It's either governments or insurance or medical device.
Just in terms of just sort of the EyeControl market, it's so uniquely geared towards one specific demographic, people that are unfortunately locked in under those circumstances. Do you see the market sort of expanding to a different industry or a different demographic of people, especially as we're becoming a little bit more high tech as a society?
So I think everything goes back to the reason like how we started the company. I think it was a good idea that we didn't think about market size at the beginning when we started the company, because luckily the size of ALS market is not very big. So when we established the company, it was more about developing the technology and giving the solution for the ALS patients. At some point, we started to get request, or we saw the need also for other cases in the home care activity with patients after stroke, spinal injuries, CP, and ventilated patient at the home care environment. But the biggest opportunity that lies today for the company is within the facilities, definitely. It's for the ICU patients, and the COVID-19, by the way, created a very unique scenario for either ventilated patients or even family members that cannot communicate with those ventilated patients because they cannot visit them. The fact that EyeControl has audio feedback and connectivity to a nurse station created a very unique value proposition for the product for communication, even without being inside the hospital for the family. And this is definitely by market size, like the bigger opportunity of the company. However, it's the home care activity, and definitely the ALS is part of the DNA of the company, and we will always stick with that. There's additional applications also for the core platform and the headset of the EyeControl, even outside in the areas of gaming, security, but we're very healthcare oriented.
Are there any other competitors that are out there in the space that are developing similar applications that EyeControl is doing as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of different solutions. Most of them are visually based. I mean, it's either tablets or computers, very similar to what Stephen Hawking was using, but from different angles. We took inside this different solution market, we took a very different approach for, instead of the visual feedback, to use an audio feedback of hearing everything you want to say through the bone conduction. So this is, I think, part of the uniqueness of the product today.